Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. So today we're working with a fairly large Victorian. I called it Lilly Victorian just because, again, I had no idea what to call it, and it was on some kind of water lily lane, I think it was, that I built it on. So I went ahead and kind of used that title to give it a name. This house is going to cost your Sims approximately 160,000 simoleons, and if you get it unfurnished, it'll be approximately 76,000 simoleons, and it sits on a 30 by 40 lot. So it is a little bit large. It looks a lot bigger, I think, in my opinion anyway, from the outside than it probably actually is. I probably could have put in more bedrooms and stuff than what I actually did. It ends up only being 3 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So, but yeah, I'm sure if you rearranged it somehow or did something different with the basement, or, I mean, you could definitely probably add to it, but well, I have more I think, useless space than I do of anything else. So I ended up getting to the point towards the end, I really didn't know what to do with one of the rooms, so I just stuck a grand piano in it, a couple benches, and said good enough, and went on to the rest of the build because I'd already had a sitting room. There's plenty of areas for your Sims to lounge and sit, and part of me really didn't want another room specifically for just sitting. But at the same time, I couldn't think of what to do with it. So that's kind of what I came up with. And here I am just, struggling with roofing. Imagine that. It always seems to be more of a task than it probably actually is. But for me, it always ends up being a little bit more on the difficult side. More like trial and error, I guess you could say. I end up doing I'm probably going to butcher it. It's a mansard roof, I believe is how you say it. I probably screwed it up. But I didn't use the in-games roofing for that because you have to make the roof really, really tall in order to get it and for it to actually flatten out. And I don't like that. So basically what I did is I created one myself by using, I think, is it the hip roof? Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Hip roofed? I'm not sure. I don't know what they're called, but I have a tutorial on roofing, and I show you how to create your own mansard roof. So if you want to check that out, that'll be in my Sims 3 tutorials category, and it will show you how to do that. That's basically what I was doing there to get the flat roof. So basically all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to flatten everything. Not really flatten, but just kind of like soften it, I guess you could say. I wanted the staircase to actually go all the way down, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get the stairs to like push the ground around and make their own path. So I ended up having to have 2 sets of stairs right there. They do work. I have tested everything in this house and everything works. So, including the shower that I stick underneath the staircase. I stuck a shower under the staircase just because I could not figure out what else to do with the space. I didn't have enough room at least I didn't think anyway, enough room to create a bathroom, and so I just kind of stuck one underneath the stairs. But it does work. Everything works. I checked all the staircases, all the stairs work. A few questionable chairs I checked, and they all work, and you're actually going to get a house that you can use every single dining room chair. That is something you're not going to find. Not going to find very often with my houses, is the dining room chairs actually working. But in this case, every single one of them does. So, and basically all I was doing right there is just blacking things out. I find that just much easier when it comes to playing in the house. It just helps redirect your eyes to only the areas that the Sims can go instead of everything. So it just helps. I feel it helps. Like when you're going up and down the flights of the stairs or the houses, going, second floor, third floor, first floor, going up and down like that. It just helps, I think, to quickly direct your eyes in the location where the Sims could possibly be at. So that's kind of why I do that. I have been doing that for a very, very long time, blacking everything out for probably a few years. It's been a really long time now. I really couldn't tell you actually where I saw that, if I saw it somewhere, where I got the idea from, I'm not exactly sure anymore because like I said, it's been quite a few years now since I started doing that, and I really couldn't tell you. But the house ends up being kind of a greenish color. But I'm actually getting to a point where I feel like I do the same colors of houses all of the time. They're getting, I don't know, they're getting boring. I don't know, I'm not being very creative. I just feel like I keep doing blue or I keep doing green or I do a beige. It just seems like all the colors of the color wheel still revolve around three primary colors, and you have a few secondary colors, but then they all pretty much revolve around those. So really, you're kind of got the same ones. In some variant in some way or another. And I feel like I have used green a lot, but that's just me. I end up with this turret here because it actually is rather big. I probably should have made it smaller, but oh well. It's actually going to be like a 2-story ceiling or whatever type of turret. Meaning on the first floor, which will be where the living room and kitchen and stuff are. That's what I'm considering to be the first floor, because majority of the rest of the house is actually under the ground, kind of like a basement. Only part of it walks out to the grass. So on the first floor, it actually goes all the way up to the second floor. There's a balcony inside from the upstairs. You can see down into the sitting room. And then below it is the area that I had no idea what to do with it, so I just stuck a piano in it. I even tried maybe a foosball table, but it just seemed too luxurious in that room to be a room for a foosball table. So I took that out and put the grand piano back in. So, anyway, yeah, I ended up doing a few more changes, I guess, to the house, mostly to the back. I decided to make it a little bit bigger. And I extended some of it. I extended some of the deck, the house itself, and end up changing that around. You'll see that a little bit later. And I use these rocks just to try to help fill in or cover the areas where the ground slopes. I use them again in the backyard as well. And I think it really does help, especially when you have a deck that kind of sticks out. It's not the foundation, but it's actually a deck. I just feel that it helps out a lot to put the rocks and some plants or something underneath it just to kind of fill in the space. And basically what I am doing here is I'm just kind of giving a little bit of an outline on where I think I'm going to put plants. It doesn't always mean that's where they're going to be, and a lot of times I'll even add more. I actually prefer to do my landscaping with trees. If you've ever noticed, I tend to put a lot of trees sometimes in the yards. I don't know, an established house, I just feel that nice big trees look best. I don't know, I just like that. I like ones that have been there, houses that have been there a while, and the trees are more mature and they're larger. I just feel that it looks a lot nicer. And since I myself think I don't know, I'm not the greatest landscaper. I just throw a bunch of junk somewhere and hope it looks good, but I always feel that I actually place my trees in a good spot, and I think my trees usually look halfway decent, so I usually use them as some kind, to help with the landscaping, help fill things in, because I'm not a landscaper. And again, this house, even though there's a nursery and a kid's room, there's still only some swings and nothing else in the backyard, because I don't do backyards. I don't really do any of that stuff, so just kind of trying to get the front here all taken care of. A few of those rocks and bushes were in the way. That's why the fence wouldn't go in, if you're kind of wondering. They're just kind of in the way. And lots of decks, lots of porches in this house. The Sims can definitely exit from all over the place, and they don't have to all use the same door. I didn't think with a house this big, I never gave it a thought to go in and upgrade that fireplace for y'all. So it is not going to be it's not an expensive fireplace, so it will definitely catch on fire. So make sure you either have your sim upgrade it or pay for like those commercial upgrades or whatever and have it fireproof, because I will assure you it's going to catch on fire. So make sure you do something with that as soon as you can when you get the house, and that way you don't have any fires, because I never think to do that. I'm able to do that, I just never think to do it, because I actually would have to go into live mode and have one of my Sims, or not really have the sim do it, but I would have to go in and use my master it's master controller. No, is it debug enabler? I don't know. I think it's one of those you can put an actual upgrade on things. I have done it before and it saves as an upgrade, so if I were to do it and then re-share it, it would, keep the upgrade, but I did not do that. Like I said, I have done it before, just not this time. And basically what I did here with the wallpaper and everything is, if you use like the one that has paneling that goes up so high, if you use a certain tile, you don't really see the wood. Like you can't really see the lines of the wood or anything, because the lines of the tile go on top of those lines, so it kind of blends it in. So I do that way I can have some, like paint or a border or something on top of the oh my goodness, the tiles, and then have the tiles, below it as well for, for easier cleaning, even though your Sims don't have to do that, but it helps. And why I chose a really pukey looking green for the kitchen, I don't know, don't ask, I have no idea. I picked it based off of the border above the tile. I wanted that border, and I think I changed the colors a little bit in the border, but the kitchen is still kind of a pukey green. So if you don't like it, just go ahead and change it, because I'm not saying I'm 100% thrilled with it for sure, but I just, it just happens to be that color. Again, I think I overused the colors green and yellow in my kitchens. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where, geez, I feel like I'm using the same colors all the time. But that's pretty much just about it for the kitchen and dining room. I like to clutter. As you can see, I'm always trying to clutter it up. And the dining is kind of together, and I was actually very surprised that all my chairs work. Now this entranceway is huge. The floor plan of this house was not something that easily came to me this time. I could not figure out what to do with this entrance. To me, was way too big, but at the same time, I couldn't figure out how to cut it into a smaller section and make a dining room or anything like that. So I just left it big and open, and kind of stuck a small sitting area over here in the corner. And of course, there's a door as well. I kind of gave it the accent of red. I thought that kind of went kind of nice. I tried a different kind of wallpaper. I don't know if I've ever actually used that wallpaper before, but I thought I would try something different and then give, an accent color. So it's mostly just a bunch of sitting areas. There is a little bit of store content. That lounge chair and that dresser that I just put in is from the store. The plant in that corner there is also from the store, but it's free. Same with that painting is from the store, but that is also free as well, along with the rotary phone. And if you're, usually ones that download my houses, you probably already have all the free stuff from the store. But if you don't, there's actually quite a few things from the Sims 3 store that is free. If you just go ahead and type in free, that'll give you quite a few items. But what I discovered is it doesn't always give you everything. And I have actually, there's Christmas stuff, like I said, and then there's registration stuff that's free, and then they just have a few things that are free. So, kind of look around a little bit and see if you can find something that's on there that's free. If not, I will have links to the houses that will give you links directly to the items, and I use a lot of the free items almost all the time because I like them, and they're free. Why not? Especially the grilled cheese painting. I absolutely love the grilled cheese painting. It's a nice looking painting of grilled cheese, and I just Honestly, I do. I do like it. I was kind of making fun of it because it is a picture of grilled cheese, but I do like it and I do use it a lot. It's a nice painting and it's a decent size. So that one is free as well, and I use that one all the time too. So here is where I was changing up the upstairs to make it a little bit bigger and changing things around, and of course that kind of messed a little bit with my mansard roof that I had there, so that kind of got shrunk a little bit and I had to change the roofing, and then of course wallpapers disappear, which is irritating when they do that, and then I had to put some back on, delete stuff, just a little bit, but you know, it was okay. So I've got it all done. I did a lot of that off camera because I didn't figure you really wanted to see me recolor everything again a second time since I'd already done it once. This is a living room. There is no formal living room. It's just all kind of combined. It's actually kind of small, but honestly, I myself don't like big houses with big gigantic rooms that I can't fill. For me, they're hard to decorate. They're hard to fill up with furniture, and I don't really like it, and so I don't really do them. And honestly, for me, when I'm playing in the game, a small little living room like this works just fine. I do hold parties once in a while, but really, my sim isn't really a party goer usually. So I really don't need a whole lot of space and big rooms to hold parties or anything like that. But I do see this house being halfway decent when it comes to holding a party. I mean, the Sims will start to disperse throughout the house and they won't be all clustered into one spot like they are when they first get there. And I think, you know, I think it'll probably be just fine if your Sim wants to have a party. And then of course there's a side table. I absolutely love it. I really can't tell you what expansion pack that comes from, but it's definitely an expansion pack that I don't think I could build without. I've had to do it and it's hard and I don't really like doing it because I love that table. That coffee table I put in there is base game. All I did was put it in and just kind of rotate it a little each time, and what it does is it creates this octagonal coffee table, and I think it looks really nice. It gives like a star shape in the center, and it's a little bit larger, that way you can kind of take up a little bit more space. And I just threw in some more plants. Again, those are the free plants from the store, and there's really not a whole lot in this room. It's just kind of a sitting room with some plants, and that's really about it. This is the room I'm calling a parlor, because really that's all a parlor actually is. Sometimes they have a fireplace, sometimes they don't, but it's mostly just a sitting room. This is just a small bathroom. I did test it. The toilet does work. You can put a diagonal wall in front of it like you see that I have here, and it will work. That way, if you have a little bit less space, at least you can see, you can take, you know, and diagonal that wall. That'll, you know, cut in a little bit for you, and it is still usable. So that's nice. Where I end up putting the shower underneath the staircase is actually in the basement. So when we get to the basement, you won't see me putting it in because I had to test it. You really got to put those in certain spots, because if you don't, your Sims can't get to it. At least the way I did it, because I put an archway there just to kind of frame it out so it wasn't quite so gaudy looking or tacky or anything like that. So there is a archway in front of it, and in order for the shower to work, I had to keep moving it out a little bit by little bit until it worked. So I did not do those testings on camera because, in my opinion, that would probably be boring to watch and really no point when you're watching a speed build. So this is the area I told you that the parlor is a 2-story ceiling, and you can see and view it from the upstairs as well. And then I didn't really want to move the hanging lamp or the chandelier that's in the parlor, so basically I used a chain that goes from, that you can put in to give it like a really long chain, like it's really dangling from really high. That is store content. The only way you're going to get that, I don't think you can purchase that individually, because it comes in a set with the Now and Then Now and Then Manor, is that what it's called? The Now and Then Manor. You have to get that, I believe, in order to get that chain. But I do use it once in a while, but sometimes I just say heck with it and have my chandelier hanging from absolutely nothing. So, but this time I thought I would go ahead and put it in because I don't use it all that often, and you know, I do want to use it once in a while. So I did. And there's those rocks I was telling you about that I put underneath the porch. I thought that worked out really nice. And I used some columns and just kind of put them on the ground in different areas just to try to make it look like they're supporting the deck, because otherwise the deck just looked like it was sticking way out there and there was no support and that it could fall right off the house. So you'll see me put a few more in again. If you kind of missed it, what I was doing with those, you'll see I will change the back deck more, and I'll add a few more of those columns, and you'll see how I was doing that. My houses, just so you know, are always built with move objects on sheet. Always, always, always. That, in my opinion, would be the hardest challenge probably for me to do, is build a house without using any cheats at all, including move objects. I do so often use that it is just always on in my game, and I don't know if I could, honestly, I don't know if I could build without it, because like those lamps, for instance, that sit inside that chair, move objects put that there. Or like I don't know, I use moved objects all the time. All those toys I just put in, moved objects put that there. Without moved objects, I wouldn't be able to put those there. I just don't think I could build without it. It's, for me, is like a staple in my refrigerator. Oh, and those birds above the crib right there are also store content. Oh, I don't know. It's something birds. If you look it up, that'll probably get it for you. It's, I don't know, it's pretty cheap. It's only a few of the sim points, but it comes with a set, so I probably purchased it in a set because I don't usually get just individual items, but you can get that one individual. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm just arranging cabinets or counters in a certain way to kind of give like a makeup counter, is basically what I'll do. Now a lot of times makeup counters are lowered, so I do go back in and lower it just a little bit, and I always arrange the little stool so your sim can sit on it, because I see no point in having a stool there if my sim can't sit on it. Now they won't be sitting on it though and facing the counter. They're going to be facing the toilet, which is a little awkward if you have someone going to the bathroom and you're going to sit there staring at the poor sim sitting on the toilet. But you know, it is what it is. Not a whole lot else I could do, otherwise it wouldn't be accessible and they wouldn't be able to use it. So I just lowered it down a little bit. So like I said, this is kind of basically a makeup counter area. I didn't know what else to do with this area because it is rather large. This house does have a laundry room, so you'll see me put in like laundry hamper baskets, and a few of them are hidden. I just kind of stuck them in a counter just to help with the house not getting too messy. But this is pretty much it that's in this bathroom. I do put a strip where the shower is. A lot of times when you have a walk-in shower like that, there will be a small little like hump or whatever, you want, border thing or whatever right there. That just helps keep the water from running out of the shower and all over the rest of the bathroom. This is the bathroom I was telling you about that has the shower underneath the stairs. That shower does work. It has been tested. If I have done this a couple of times, but basically when I was doing it, I didn't want it to be visible from the bathroom. I didn't want you to be able to see the staircase because that's kind of strange, kind of weird. And I didn't want to have to delete the entire wall to get the shower in, because on the above you'd see the stairs. It just looked really weird, and I felt this archway there would make it look a little nicer and more clean. And I just had to move the shower out just a little bit for it to work, but everything, like I said, everything does work just fine. So pretty much this is about it for this bathroom. It is pretty small. You know, I try to utilize the space as best as I could. That way at least there was a shower downstairs, because otherwise your Sims would only have the one bathroom that had the tub and a shower. At least this way you can have a sim go downstairs and use a shower and a sim go upstairs and use the bathroom up there, and you don't have to really worry about them going in the, hopefully, you know, walking in on each other. You know how sims are. They're kind of stupid. They do anyway. They're always walking in on your sim, if you ask me. And then they get the mood lit up. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm so embarrassed because they just saw me. But, well, oh well, it was their fault. This bedroom here, I didn't really have any, you know, actual sim in mind. I just, again, with me in the green, but I like the like pistachio type of green color. Either a hunter green or kind of like a pistachio color is probably, I like those colors. So I decided it would seem really odd, kind of strange, weird to have a laundry basket beside your reading chair, so I stuck it in the dresser. So it's hidden in the dresser. Don't worry, your Sims can still get to it. And then this is the kids' bedroom, and why it went so dark when I put that lamp in, I have no idea. But it went so black. It was dark. But anyway, this room is kind of designed more for maybe a couple little girls because it's decorated in purple. Like I have said in the past, though, for me, I don't actually play like that. I'm not big on going into casts. I'm not big into redecorating when I play the game. I just say heck with it. And if there's a bedroom and it's furnished and I have a kid, I just stick them in that bedroom anyway. I usually don't care. I'm just not, I know I'm not really like that. I don't personalize my Sims houses. I just don't. I don't know. I'm too lazy. I don't want to go in there and redecorate, so I just leave it go. But yeah, I just do that. Like even if I'm playing my own game and my sim starts out with nothing, I really don't decorate it. I give them the necessities and that's about it. I really don't. I don't even decorate a house from the ground up if my sim starts out with nothing and they build their own house. I really don't do anything with the house. It's probably the ugliest house you'll ever see. So, but anyway, this again is another sitting area because I didn't know what to do with it. I'm boring. I'm lame. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do with this room. So I just made it like a reading area with a bunch of bookshelves and the chairs to sit in and read. And that plant there between the doors is also a free plant. You will get that when you get the other plants that I put in here that I said was free. That comes all together. I think you get like 3 plants or something. And there's 2 of them that I use all of the time. And here's the room again. I told you I didn't want to make another sitting room, but that foosball table really it didn't work for me. So I had to take it out and I decided to go with the white piano instead. And really this is about all that's in this room. You got the piano, you got these chairs. I recolored them a little bit so they would kind of look halfway decent with the wall color. A couple paintings, and then that is it. I didn't even put a rug because I felt the rug would kind of, I don't know, I felt like it would ruin it because we don't have, if we had a really big round rug, I would have used it. But we don't. We only have them stupid square and rectangle ones. We have a round one, but it's small. And I just didn't feel that it would work. So that's why I didn't do it. And then your sim kids will only have two swings. So yeah. Boring life. This big luxurious house. And your poor kids will have nothing to do. Basically, here again is where I'm adding it. The stairs kind of gave me a little bit of fit. Basically what it was, I had something in the way is what it was. So I have to go in. You'll see me, I'll go in and I will move the rocks and stuff around, trying to get them out of the way. And I think I move a tree, yes. And then I do eventually get the stairs. As you can see right there, the stairs are going to go in now. I'm just kind of fixing the landscaping a little bit before I actually place them because I didn't want a sharp fall. I just wanted that gradual slope on the ground. And then I will put in some more columns and I just kind of wedge them in a little bit and recolor them. They kind of make it look like they're holding up the deck is kind of how I was looking at it. So because I used for my railing and stuff in some of the areas, I used one that comes with a column and already comes with like some kind of upper border for the roof. You'll see it right there in front of them doors. But you know, they really don't have a railing. It's irritating. They don't have a basic railing that actually matches. But this plain Jane, I don't even know what you want. I don't even know, was it static railing? No, it ain't the static one. It's, I don't know. I believe it's base game. It's about the only one that matches pretty decent. So that's the one I used and just recolored it. Here I am just doing the lights and finishing up the house. And this will be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below. And as always, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.